Welcome, future masters. Well, this seems obvious. I don't have to take you, dummy. Crunchy. Just because he takes you to check, you don't have to take him. To me, this was fairly obvious. Let me show you. Okay, so I saw that bishop to d6 sets an unstoppable checkmate on e7. Don't have to take him. Now I can, every way I take loses. Rook takes bishop, queen, check. King takes queen, check. Terrible. Don't take it. So, well, I've got this check. He wants to go here. I mean, I can just win this rook as well. I don't know if that's really the right move. Check, like king to e1 loses. King to d2, knight takes. I'm just winning that. I'm thinking this check is a devastator. But I don't have any other move that really proves it. Check. King to d3. Well, king to d3, I can just go queen to what? c2, threatening to checkmate him. It's a winner to me. I mean, queen to b2 threatens like nasty stuff. Whatever, dude. Take the pawn. Whatever. I don't foresee that. I couldn't foresee any real difference. Check. You're not getting quite mated yet. But we're working on it. We're working on it. We check in with the queen. He plays rook to here. We get the queen check, followed by the rook check. Or the checkmate. Either one is good. I'm not worried. Wow. Does he have checks? He doesn't even have any checks. Just take it. So we have to consider, queen takes rook. Can we withstand whatever garbage checks this guy has that I don't see him having? Because he's threatening to lose this right off the bat. So I don't know where he's going to go. He can't check us at all, period. I'm taking your free rook, brother. Okay, what does that do? Here. Really, it's my only move. Okay. I'm going here. What else you got? Bobby Fischer? It's either queen f6 or queen h7, and I'm thinking queen f6 is nasty because I'd love to play queen e5 check, and that squashes his attack. So queen f6. If he goes king to g8, not a problem. How about check here? If he goes queen to e8, I'd check him again. He's got problems. Correcto. Well, now you're in big trouble, brother. Well, it doesn't do anything. Check. He goes to f7. Then I check him again. Told you I wanted to play queen at e5 check. Just wins everything. 2700 problem bites the dust. All right, check, check. All right, here's the dealio. Rook checks, queen to here. Can't take this rook because he takes this with check. Check him en passant. And then, what does I do? En passant, we don't have another killer check. Don't have one there either. Well, it's rook check here. I don't know. Rook check, king to h5. I don't have really an h5 check other than g4. He takes en passant, and then I don't have another check, unfortunately. But, oh man, I don't know. Oh, I could play queen checks and then just play rook takes bishop. Doesn't really do anything though. Oh, yes, it does. Queen checks, king h5, queen h6 check, king takes h6, rook e6 check, king to here, checkmate. There you go, eat it. 28-37, conquered. Pretty darn good, wouldn't you say? 4 out of 5, always a good score. Yes. It was when I realized this, I had this ladder mate concept, was I just don't have anything. There was an en passant with no checks. So this move didn't seem too fruitful until I realized that he's trapped, and I can't. If I can check him, I can mate him. It's basically queen takes h6, king takes queen, rook e6, king h5, rook h7 is mate. That's all I had to see, which was I don't know, let's see how deep this was. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4. King takes here 4, 5, 6. It's really a 7. They throw in the extra moves to make it a 9. It's really, you have to see basically 7 moves deep that you're winning. Of course, you have to see the right 7. So you just got to see that, you got to recognize the sequence, the pattern that this rook to e6, this ladder mate of these light squared rooks, forces him deep into the cave from which there is no escape, which was pretty awesome. What is this one? This one was, yes. I thought his checks were rather lame and not too dangerous. It's pretty basic stuff, but after this g5, where are you going, Bobby Fischer? Now, granted, he did have queen e3, which is difficult, but the key thing was we want to recognize, to me, one of the key things was this. Queen e5 check, if I could do it, is crushing. And I was famous for doing this kind of stuff, you know, almost 40 years ago. Really, yeah, it's almost 40 years ago. I would, do stuff and exchange pieces, giving away material to get won end games at a younger age than most players would do it. I was doing it in my early 20s. So that's when I realized that queen takes h7 was the correct move. So he goes here, and as soon as that's possible, you're toast. That's all I wanted was queen e5 check. Because it's game over. Everything is protected. He's got no shot. Okay. Which is all good to me. So that was terrific. So what was this one? This one was... He did this. Yeah, not too difficult. The point was I knew that when I checked him with rook e3, this was my first move. I looked at rook e3 check. He's going to interpose, and I have really nothing. So the only way I could get something would be to check him once his rook is here. The only way to check him when his rook is here is queen e1. The only way to get there was to take this with check. This is really how I figured it out. It was like, well, I'm going to play rook e3 check. He's going to get interposed, and I have nothing. So I go, I need to check him after he plays rook f3. And so I go, well, if I take this pawn check, he can't run away. If he goes to the f file, the rook is just going to annihilate him. I'll play like queen e3 check, and I'll just finish him right here and there. So that's when I realized it was queen takes e3, because I'm going to get the maneuver around the rook. And, you know, if he goes here, rook checks his mate. I don't even have to worry. I can win the rook if I want to, but rook checks is just outright mate. I don't have to worry about any of the stupid queen checks on f7 or what have you, which would be devastating. So he had to retreat to h3, and I checkmated him, you know, in the cubby hole. So that was fantastic. This one was a boo-boo. Hey, boo-boo boy! Queen takes a2. I don't know. There's a slight difference. Queen to b2. I was right on the deal. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. That's a stupid move. Yes, because I'm threatening, you know, well, I was threatening on b2. Oh, I see. Queen to b2 is okay, except I lose. So, yes, I did realize I had to defend this pawn. So I'm threatening to go check, and then check again with queen f2 check. So basically speaking, what's happening here is he does nothing. I don't know. Let's just throw a move away. b5. I'm going to go queen b3 check, attacking his rook. King to e2, queen to c2 check. He can't interpose. The knight's there. He goes into the corner. Queen f2 is mate. So I made an oversight. That's my fault. And this one, the first problem was, oh yeah, it was obvious. You don't have to take him. This is a super valuable lesson of when to take and when not to take. Brother, king h2, you do not want to take that pawn. You don't always have to take. And when you're attacking on the other side, when you're attacking and you play a bishop takes pawn check, you have to calculate taking or not taking. Now, usually taking is the more critical line because you've given away a piece. So this was a great problem to show you when not to take and why you don't take it. I don't need this bishop to win. I'm going to win on checkmate on e7. Don't be greedy. My father was really concerned and aware of greed. Now we're all susceptible to it, of course, and he was like, you know, just like anybody else. But he would get on, you know, he would get on himself by he goes, oh, I got too greedy. So my dad had all these ideas that were all terrific. As you've seen in my videos, that I reference those things that my dad said, and you know, he taught me some of these things indirectly, but he learned chess at an older age, and he did not have, well, he didn't really work on his game as much as he could have, because my father detested playing with a computer because he just was like, you play chess with people. And it's really funny because my dad would do exactly the thing when he played tennis. And he practiced tennis and he became a really, really good player. He would practice. He was like, okay, to get good at tennis, you need to practice hitting them against the wall. Somewhere, the school, whatever. And our house, where we used to live when I was a teenager, it had a porch that there was in front of the front door and the window of one bedroom and the kitchen, and then there was about a 3 or 4 foot wide part of the garage wall that stuck out. My brother used to practice tennis in that little space on that 4 foot wall like a maniac. And so my brother used that practicing against a robot, quote unquote, wall to get better. And chess, the computer programs that we played, or I played, was that same philosophy that my father had taught in tennis, but he himself wouldn't do it. He couldn't take it. He just couldn't take practicing against a computer. So he had all these great ideas, and there were super truthful sayings that I tell you. Don't be greedy. King H2 avoids greed, and he's toast. So this is the thing. So what I was able to do in chess was to coalesce, many of my father's just terrific and classic ideas that he himself lacked the skill in chess to do. And so that you guys hear me talking about it because I played literally thousands of games of chess with my father in the 70s. There was, and I tell people it was the 70s. It was before, video games were available. So you watched TV or listened to the radio or did whatever. But when there was nothing else to do, you want to play chess? Translation, let's go get some beatings. So, I had constant exposure to those valuable lessons at a young age. And then when I worked on my game to improve it by playing programs and doing quite well, I already had these concepts floating in my chess head and was able to coalesce them to become the player that does stuff that you see in front of you. So hopefully these stories will help you to understand how I command some of these ideas that you have not yet mastered. So hopefully you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I don't know why you're here if you haven't. So that was awesome. I will talk to you guys in the next one.